Hey students, I'm Diane Amelia Reed, an advisor and career development teacher at the Adult Learning Center. I'm going to talk with you briefly about two very common interview questions and give you some suggestions on how to answer them. So the first one is less of a question than a statement, and it is, so tell me about yourself. This is something that you want to be prepared to answer. And a great guideline for that is thinking about present, past, and future. So maybe you're in the IT program and you can say, I'm just finishing up certifications. I wasn't really content in the past with how my career was going. It didn't feel like it had the power that I wanted. So I got myself some training and I am super excited about this new career in IT. And I think I'd be a great match here because blah, blah, blah. And then you tell them why you're a great match. So here's the present, here's the past and how I got here. Or maybe you have relevant experience from the past. Bring that in too. I always loved fiddling with my computer, and so I decided to get some formal training, and I've just wrapped that up, and I'm so excited to be interviewing here because I can really see myself in this role for quite a long time. Something like that. Now, they might not just come up and say, tell me about yourself. They might say, well, I've got your resume here, but tell me a little bit more about you, or fill me in a little more on your background. No matter how they ask the question, this is the way that you can frame it. Remember, you want to stay in control of the information you're giving. So if you know in advance what some of the questions might be, you can prepare. Don't wing it. Do not wing it. Prepare what your answer is going to be and make it short and clear and relevant so that it relates to the job that you are interviewing for at this moment. So tell me about yourself. Probably the very first question that's asked often. It's an icebreaker, but it's common, so be ready. The second one that you want to be ready for with a little story is another common one when an interviewer will say, so tell me about your strengths and weaknesses. Strengths are a little bit easier. Make them relevant to the job at hand. Maybe you're a great golfer, but that's not relevant. Maybe you're a great gamer and that's not relevant. Maybe it is, but if it's not, that's not the thing to lead with. That's not your strength. Make your strengths relevant to the job that you're applying for. Now, here comes the tricky one. Tell me about your weaknesses. It's a trick question. And it's not so much that they want to know your weaknesses, they want to hear how you answer it. So be ready. Here is a great way to answer that question. Identify something that you felt was a deficit, something that you had that just wasn't quite 100, so you fixed it. For instance, well, I realized that Excel is a very common application and I wasn't very good at it. So I took a little online course and now I can work a basic spreadsheet. I don't know if that's relevant for this job or not, but it's a skill that I felt like I needed. I didn't have it, so I got it. Simple. I had a little deficit. Here's how I corrected it. Maybe it's not a deficit at all. Maybe you say, I've got a lot of, let's say you are a native English speaker and you say, I have a lot of colleagues who are Spanish speaking, or I have a lot of clients or patients who are Spanish speaking. So I got myself this app and I'm learning a little bit of Spanish every day and I still can barely hold a conversation, but now I'm getting more familiar with words and I hope to keep continuing that language skill because I think it's going to help me connect with others. So again, a little way that you're choosing for self-improvement. And speaking of self-improvement, this is not an interview question. This is just a little freebie I'm throwing in for you. You want to update your resume with a new skill every single year. Keep yourself relevant. Take a training. Learn something new. Put it on your resume. You only want like the last 5 to 7 years of job experience on your resume. So if something's old, put the skills from that job up in the skills section on your resume, and then let it slip off, and keep your resume current. So keep building your skills, because one, it's a great way to answer the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses, when you're in the interview, and your resume then is always fresh if you're always updating skills. So quick recap. Tell me about yourself. Be ready for it in whatever form they ask it. Tell me about your strengths and weaknesses. Get ready for the weakness question and answer that with something that you have self-corrected. And just to keep yourself on your A game, add a new skill to your resume every year. All right? Go get it.